Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, I forgot. I had to make a chicken for dinner. Okay, where was I? Here I was, flashing this, right? Make sure I got that covered. Okay, yeah. Alright, as I was saying, you can have, you'll feel, chicken spice. You'll feel a little ridge there when you actually get that heat seal done on there. Either way, if you don't like working with the fire, that's fine. Just use the white glue. It works just as well. You just have to wait a little longer for the actual glue to dry. Okay, I'm just going to take any one of these, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this around the top of the upper clip. You'll see that a hair clip has two sides. One's a flat edge, which is what you're going to put against the head, and then you have the one that goes up. So what you want to do if you're going to cover these, you want to cover the one that isn't flat, because you want this against the doll's head or your daughter's head or your granddaughter's head, whoever you're making these for. Okay, so I'm just going to take probably dried my glue out. I have my overhead fan going in here because it's hot, and it's drying my glue out really fast. So let's try it again. Hopefully I won't get interrupted. Okay, so I'm just going to cover, use you know, a fair amount of glue, because it dries clear anyway, so you want it to stick well. And then I'm going to take my upper prong, and I'm going to just set my, that's another thing I like about this white glue. You have time to work. You know, there's no time limit on white glue until it actually starts to dry, and it gives you plenty of working room. So I'm just going to bend that down and tuck it. It's not going to want to stay, so what I do is I take another barrette, and if you don't think you have enough glue on there, which I didn't think I did, just add a little bit more. And then fold it down, tuck it in, and it's not going to want to stay, like I said. So take another barrette and just put a barrette on there and let the barrette hold it in place. You might want to use two if you need to. No, one's plenty. So you know what I think the problem was? I didn't give myself enough of a lip. So that's you don't want to go too far, because you don't want to hit that spring that's in there, which will open and close your barrette. So you want to be careful about that. So let me go ahead and put the clip this way. That'll hold it down better. Okay, so now I'm ready to do the rest of it. So I'm just going to go a little bit past, I'm just going to glue a little bit past this bottom of the top prong. I hope I got my camera good. Okay. A little too much there. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to just line it up so my barrette is dead center of that ribbon. This is 3/8 of an inch ribbon. That's what I've been using to cover these barrettes. It seems to work well. I've tried, this is 3/8, so I tried a 1/4 inch. A 1/4 inch is fine too, but like I said, with the 1/4 inch you're going to see a little bit of the metal on the top of the barrette. So it doesn't matter. If you don't like that look, you want to go 3/8. If you don't care if you see that look, then use the smaller ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to come around and I'm going to cut off to give myself a little extra so I have enough room, and then I'm going to just cut and make sure I have enough on here. because if I don't, I can always come back and cut some more. So let's see how we did. Okay, good enough. Okay, so I'm going to open that back up again, and I'm going to put some more glue on there. Oh, sorry, I didn't flash it, which I'm going to do for sealing it. Okay. And then I'm just going to finish it up with some glue. Okay, I want to make sure it's covered all the way because I'm going to want my sides to hook up on each side. So bring your glue all the way out to the outside on both sides. Okay. Okay, so now, oops, I lost that. Okay, so then center it, bring your barrette in, your ribbon in, and then just squeeze it shut. I'm going to make sure there's no glue on this side so you can open it back up. But this is where you can do all your adjusting. I could have made it a little bit longer, but it's okay, it's fine. Because you're not going to see it anyway. But if that bothers you, then cut it longer and get it all the way to the end if you want it that way. Okay. So, how's that looking? That's too much glue there. Okay. Just that one. Glue off my fingers. Okay. So now this is ready to be covered with whatever design I decide to use. Okay, so this would be okay if I was going to make, this is my outside piece. Now if I was going to use this with the blue, this blue one that I went a little bit further in, which is probably better than the white one I just did. But they're fine, either one, because like I said, you're not going to see this because we're going to cover it up with a different design. Okay, so whatever design you're going to cover it with, you want to try and match that, like I said, so you can't see, like here, I covered it with, can you see the barrette through there? Probably you can't, a little clip, but it's got the same purple as the one of my ribbons, so it just blends right in. You wouldn't even know there was a covered barrette behind here. So that's the look you're looking for. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you how to do is the these little shoes right here. This was the all this is 2 pieces of ribbon, and I just made them into a little bit of a bow, and that was basically this. Here's your green piece that I was going to use instead, and I ended up going with the pink. So I've already done this. I cut this 4 inches and I folded it in half, and then I just glued in the center, and I got 2 loops on each side. So if this one's 4 inches, I want my next layer to be showing through, so I'm going to go, instead of 4 inches, I'm going to go with 3 inches. So you're going to need a little bit of a ruler to use so you can measure it. If you're going to make more than one, I'd cut them both out at the same time so you can get them the same on each one. This is a piece, this one right here, I'm not going to have to seal the edges because they're never going to be out. They're going to be in the middle of, another piece of ribbon, so you don't have to worry about sealing the edges because nobody's ever going to be pulling it with their hands or fingers. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to squeeze it in the middle. Okay. I'm only doing this to make it easy on myself. Okay. So then when I open this back up again, I'm going to take a little dab of glue, and I'm not sealing this because I don't need to. I'm just going to put a little spread of glue, and I'm going to turn it and stick it in the center of where that fold was. That's all there was to it. I'm just folding and gluing. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Same thing, I'm just going to fold it and match it up to the other piece. And that's basically all I'm doing. So what you can do now is just let that dry. You can stick it in a barrette to hold it. And that will let that dry. Okay. This is real pretty too, but I bought this already. I had a carousel horse that I made for my granddaughter, and I decorated it, so I bought a bunch of these pre-made flowers so I could put all over the horse's mane. And but even just taking something like this and gluing it like that would make a beautiful barrette or hair clip for your doll's hair. Okay, so once that's pretty dry, you're going to take another piece of glue, and see how I've got, I glued these two together, and you see the little seam there in the middle from where I glued those. So this time I'm going to just put a dab of glue in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one I just did with the seam on the inside, and I'm just going to line that up in the middle. So if you did it right, if you match your open seams to each other, you should have it dead center. But if it's not, just eyeball it, and you can tell by looking whether or not it's pretty even or not. Okay, so once you have those two together, clip it and let it dry. Okay. So once that gets dry, you're going to take another piece of fabric, another piece of ribbon, a tiny little piece, and you're just going to wrap it around both of them like this. You could go with the pink or you can go with the green, it doesn't matter. This one I didn't even put a piece of ribbon in there, and I think it would have been a lot cuter if I would have done that, but I didn't. I just made it like this. But if I would have been smart, I would have added a contrasting ribbon in the middle. In fact, it probably would have been much cuter had I put green instead of the pink. If I can find the green real quick, I'll use it, but I have no idea where the green is. Okay, well, maybe some other time when I find it. There's pinks, pink, 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 blues, purples, no greens. Okay, so we're going to go with pink again, doesn't matter. Okay, so once you have that centerpiece on, which I'll show you how to do that, because you don't even have to put a flash in, you don't have to flash it because you're going to glue it, and then this seam is going to be glued on top of the barrette, like this. So again, you don't have to worry about fraying, so you don't have to worry about flashing, sealing it at all. In fact, just the way it is right there, you can't even see the white ribbon, so this one would work fine on this barrette holder anyway. It doesn't have to be green like I put it on here, but if you're going to go out further than the actual ribbon, I would try and match your color of coverage over that. Okay, so now that you've got this one drying, okay, you're just going to take a piece of ribbon and you're just going to cover it like this, cut it, and on this one I'm going to glue it all the way around, so I'm just going to cover this, and the glue is drying out again. And just cover that up. Okay. And we're going to try and center that over the barrette and over the two pieces we put together. Okay, tuck it under one side, and then if it's too long you can trim it and then tuck it on the other side. And put a barrette in it to hold it. If it's too long, trim it, and this one is. It's going to need a little more glue too. See how you got that? It looks pretty even on both sides. And that's basically all I did on those pair of shoes. In fact, I only did pink on those because I had green as the fabric strap, and then I just did the two little bows, and I did the centerpiece in the middle, and then I just used whatever bling I had for the inside. I'm going to be organized one of these days. I'm hoping the new house we buy has a craft room for me, so I can just keep everything out in the open. So whatever you're going to bling them with, yeah, this is the wrong one. I don't know where my bling is. I know it's somewhere. Here. Yeah, you just take whatever you've got, whether it's a button, you can just put this would look real cute with a little button on top. It doesn't have to be the purple heart, it doesn't have to be the white hearts like I used, it could be anything. You can put a little button on there, that would be cute. You can do, depends on what you want to do, you can just do anything. There's just no limit to what you can do. I thought I had some more of these little white hearts, but I don't. And there's a little white heart there. And but that's all I did. I just used a little pearl heart on there, and that's how I made these shoes with that. That was the ribbon for those shoes. And then I just glued them. This is the name of Barrette. I just glued it directly on the doll shoe. And then for the Barrettes that I had, I used these in the doll's hair. So that was for the doll's hair. And if I wanted to use these Barrettes that I'm making now, this is a matching pair. I could put them on the white clogs, and, or the doll's hair, whatever you want to do. And that's that one there. So I could have worn these as the instead of these, but these are much cuter than those. But I can use these for the doll's hair, and it'll all be a matching outfit because it's all pretty much the same colors of ribbon and parts. Okay, I'm going to stop there. When I come back on the next video, I'm going to show you how to do the pinwheels. That's this design here, with how to cut these. I don't think I have time right now, but I'll give you a preview of how I do it. Some people do not like to have to cut their own ribbon by hand because they can never get it straight, and I'm one of those people. So to make it easy on myself, I use my rulers. I just brought this home from one of the Goodwills I went to. And same thing with these, you can flash this. This is satin, and flash it, and you'll get that same little ridge on this too. But to get a straight cut, if you have any of these rulers, any of the plastic rulers, they'll always give you a 45-degree angle. This is just one of those little omni grids. In dead center, right down its length is a dotted line. That's a 45-degree angle. If you have one of these, the same thing. This is a fussy cut ruler, and this is the 45-degree angle here. And then if you've got these big rulers, you also get your 45-degree. It actually tells you it's a 45-degree angle. And this one here will also give you a 60-degree angle. The 60-degree angle is too sharp. I don't like using it, so I only use the 45-degree angle on there. But if you're really particular, you can just use, if you're not particular, you can just fold this in half and make a snip, and you'll have your cut. It's not even. See, this side and this side do not match. So you can try it again and hope for better luck next time. Okay, but then you're going to have to, that's better, but I'm going to have to cut the other side exactly the same way. And your chances of getting them exactly even are going to be slim to none, unless you're very, very good. If you look at these cuts on my ribbon here, they might look close, but I can tell you that they are not anywhere near being close to the same degree of cut. So if you don't care, that's fine. Just do it just the way I did it right here, and fine and dandy, that works. But if you're really particular and you want it to be the same 45-degree angle always when you're cutting both sides, I would, I'm going to cut this here. I'm just doing this for an example. And then I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to put it on my ruler on my 45-degree. I'm going to match up my 45-degree angle with my edges of the ribbon, and then I'm going to cut this way so I don't cut myself. But see if you can see how I've got that straight. You can see how I've got that straight edge lined up with that salvage of the ribbon, and now I'm going to just make a cut. And I did it the wrong way. But this is also, I was going to show you this anyway, so I'll show it to you now. You can make ribbon this way too. It gives you a different look when we'll actually fold it. But it's kind of really cute too. It's just completely opposite of the pinwheel look. And I love it. I think it's very cute. And we'll try it on one of the, I haven't actually used it yet, but I've been thinking about using it. And I thought I was just going to put my thing in the middle, put my ruler in the middle, and then just cut around the corners like that to get that look. But folding them in half also works. Okay, so if I would have done this the right way, I probably should have done it. Let's see. I want this to go that way, so this should have gone. I should have gone this way. Lined up with my middle. Fold my ribbon in half. Line up with my 45-degree angle, and make a cut. And then you'll have a perfect 45-degree angle on all your ribbons. If you don't like this and it's too much trouble, don't bother. Just do it like you would. I showed you the first time on your ribbon. Just fold it in half and cut it. Eyeball it. Because by the time they're on the barrette, you're not even going to tell. But like I said, if you're really particular and you want everything to be perfect, then I would definitely use a ruler, because this is what you're going to get if you don't, compared to a perfect 45-degree cut. But it's whatever you want, you know. Whatever's easier for you, if you don't have the rulers or the cutter. So anyway, so what I'm going to do on this, show you how to use this. Since I only made one of these, I'll just use this as an example. I'm going to take oops, I just dropped something. I'm going to take a little dab of glue. Stuck. Okay. Because I'm not good at, because I'm going to have 3 of these to make these pinwheels, because you're going to have 3 on each of them. To make it easy on myself, I do my first fold like this. I fold it in half, and I get that little mark right there in the center, and then I know where that little line is, so I'll take my little dab of glue, just a tiny dab of glue in that little spot, and I'll fold it in half. Okay, and then I'll glue it and let it sit so it stays together. Okay, so let's just say that was done and it's dry. And then I'm going to take it now and I'm going to fold it the other way down on both sides. It's not quite dry. Okay, so I'm going to fold it down when it's dry, and then I'm going to put a little dab of glue on each of these. The reason I'm doing this is because I have to hook 3 of these together, and I'm very uncoordinated. So by doing it like this, folding it in half, letting it dry, and then folding it again with the ribbon. By the time I have to put all three of these pieces together, it's all going to be dried, and it's going to be easy to assemble. Instead of trying to take all three of these things and put them together at the same time, it's just really hard, and it annoys me, so I don't do it that way. But that's how I do it. I would glue. It's not as pretty as I thought it would be, but yeah, it's okay though. So I'm going to make three of these pieces and let them dry, and then I'm going to attach them all together so I get that pinwheel effect. But anyway, I'll do that on the next video because I've got to go, dinner time, and well, almost anyway. And then I'll do a different video. I'll finish up the pinwheels tonight and show you how to do that. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.